नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी का मेरे क्लब स्पाइसी शुगर्स की एक बेहतरीन शाम में, जब हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट थे मुंबई के जाने माने ऑर्थोपेडिक सर्जन एंड स्पोर्ट्स मेडिसिन स्पेशलिस्ट डॉक्टर मनन वोरा। मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है कि मैं अपने क्लब के साथ फुल जस्टिस कर पा रही हूँ, इसमें सही और अच्छे लोगों को सेशंस के लिए इनवाइट करके। और डॉक्टर मनन वोरा ने तो हमें बहुत सी ऐसी बातें बताई जिनके बारे में हम पहले कभी जानते भी नहीं थे, स्पेशली लेडीज से रिलेटेड। यूजुअली लेडीज में वाइडर हिप्स की वजह से अलाइनमेंट ऑफ नीज थोड़ा डिफरेंट होता है, जिसकी वजह से उनका बॉडी वेट उनके नीज पर कंसंट्रेटेड होता है और इसकी वजह से उनमें आर्थराइटिस के चांसेस भी बढ़ जाते हैं और उनकी बोन डेंसिटी भी मेन के कंपैरिजन में कम होती है। तो किस तरह से अपनी बोन्स, जॉइंट्स, मसल्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग किया जाए, प्रोटेक्ट किया जाए, नॉट ओनली फॉर वुमेन, फॉर मेन टू, इस बात को ध्यान में रखकर बहुत से सिंपल टिप्स और इंफॉर्मेशन दी डॉक्टर मनन वोरा ने। तो चलिए मिलकर देखते हैं इस सेशन के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्लिप्सेस।
Now, India's highest coronary artery disease rates are 20 to 50% higher than any other country in the world. So again, heart disease, India, we're right up there. 1 in 10 every Indian adult above the age of 18 has an increased blood glucose. 1 in 10. Can you believe that? If you put 10 people above the age of 18 over here, one of you will have an increased blood glucose. In 2020, we had 73 million diabetic patients in India. So where did we stand a chance when the pandemic came? Can you imagine? 73 million had diabetes. 1 in 4 Indian adults above the age of 18 has an increased blood pressure. 1 in 4. 10.8% of the total deaths in India happen due to hypertension, due to heart disease and blood pressure. 10.8. 30 to 65% of the adults in an urban population are considered obese. How many of you exercise for 1 hour every day unfailed? Oh, that's a great number. Exercising actually helps reduce the risk of developing these chronic diseases. It makes your blood vessels bigger, so there's better peripheral circulation of your blood throughout the body. There is better blood circulation to your brain, which shows that there is reduced cognitive decline. Exercise has been linked with a reduced risk of developing Alzheimer's. Exercise has been proven to actually lower your blood glucose level and boost your body's sensitivity to insulin, countering insulin resistance. I'm sure those of you who raised your hands for diabetes know what insulin resistance is. And exercise is also proven to actually help effectively reduce your blood pressure. And you need to understand that you need to bring about this little change into your routine. Just how you brush your teeth, just how you bathe, just how you get ready, whatever is a part of your daily routine. Similarly, exercise has to become part of that routine. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to go on social media, follow the latest fitness fads, because there's so much out there. There's so many quick 2-month weight loss programs, this 21-day challenge, 45-day challenge, this challenge, that challenge. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. The advice that I want to give you is to actually create that change, then make it a habit, and then make it a lifestyle. Now, what I recommend is setting SMART goals. Okay, SMART stands for SMART. Now, here I'm talking about S being specific, M being measurable. Okay, so for those of you who heard of SMART, it works beautifully for exercise. This means that you have to basically give yourself an example that I will work out for 30 minutes every evening. I will go for a jog. That is very specific and it's measurable. या तो आपने 30 मिनट किया है या तो नहीं किया है. It is not something that cannot be calculated. Next, it has to be achievable and realistic, which is your A and your R. You cannot say, I want to lose 2 kgs in 7 days. That is not achievable. Or technically, it can be achievable if you start doing everything possible and you lose water weight and everything, but it's not realistic. And lastly, it should be time bound. For example, I want to go to the gym for 4 days a week every evening for the next 2 months and aim for 1 kg per week loss every week. Now that is an SMART goal. That is what a SMART goal really is. And that's when you will be able to work towards something. That's when you will be able to actually achieve it because it's realistic. You'll be able to pat yourself on the back because you've done well. And that's when you create your next SMART goal and you start working towards achieving that. And the most important thing for everyone to keep in mind is to make it non-negotiable. There should be no reason that prevents you from making this investment into your routine. So how many of you worked out today? Let's see. Okay, so about 30-35% of you. But my point is that apart from one day of rest, there should be no excuse that actually stops you, from making this decision, making this investment in your life. I mean, even girls who are on, or even women who are otherwise in their periods, they need to understand that even during your periods, you have endorphins which are released while you are exercising. These are hormones that actually help you get relief from period pain, for example. If you have a lot of stress, you have a lot of work, you have a lot of things going on, exercise actually helps release a chemical in your brain called norepinephrine, which has been proven to help you manage stress more effectively. So there are only positives of doing it. When you have other obstacles that would otherwise stop you from actually working out, you need to understand that it's not just about finding that time to lose weight, but if you actually exercise, you actually invest that time, it will actually help make your day better because of other pains, whether they are physical or being caused due to any stress, due to work or any family thing as well. I think it's very important that you pick something you genuinely like, because only if you like something will you show up the next day and you will show up the day after that. So if you choose something out of just being forced into it, or something you've seen on social media, or even listening to me talk today, and if you don't genuinely enjoy that process, you're more likely to just give it up in 3 or 4 days. So obviously ensure you like it, but from someone who promotes weight training a lot and is a very big fan of weight training, I can just request you all to give it a serious try, because it's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing, and all the more so for women because of bone density issues, and we'll talk about that going forward. So, I just want to talk about a few tips that you can keep in mind if you plan to get on either a weightlifting journey or a more serious fitness journey. Like I said, I don't really walking, sorry, whoever it was. So, the first thing you need to do is make sure you have a plan. Just going to the gym and doing something randomly obviously is not possible. You need to make sure you have a structured program, whether it is lifting weights, whether it is Pilates, yoga, whatever, dance classes, it could be absolutely anything. Make sure you have a plan and you know beforehand that aaj mujhe ye karna hai, this is my objective for the week, these many body parts I'm doing in this much time of the week. Sorry? I'm coming to that, exactly. So make sure you have some plan, take an opinion of a fitness trainer if you need, or any expert, any friend who's more experienced, but don't just do it randomly without a plan. That's the first thing. The next thing is to ensure you are warming up, and by warming up I'm not talking about stretching. A lot of people think just doing this like this is considered warm up. That's not a warm up. That's called a stretching. That's called stretching, which is usually done at the end of your workout to cool down, because it relaxes your muscles. What we need to do is contract your muscles and get them ready for the workout. So for example, doing something of a dynamic nature is much better, like walking lunges or doing jumping jacks, or just do the same exercise that you are going to do in your workout, but do it at a lesser intensity. So suppose you are going to take 7.5 kg dumbbells and do a chest press on both sides, just take a 2.5 kg and do that. That is just getting your muscles ready for the activity that you are otherwise going to do. So please make sure you warm up. The next thing you need to understand is that a lot of people think, चलो अब तो मैंने वर्कआउट शुरू कर ली, मैं कुछ भी खा सकता हूँ या मैं कुछ भी खा सकती हूँ. That is a very very important thing. I see a lot of you smiling. I see a lot of you looking at each other, because when you pick up your result, you're probably telling the person, आज तो मैंने वर्कआउट कर लिया है. So just because you have worked out in the morning doesn't mean you go all out in the evening. Just because you have gone all out in the evening doesn't mean you try to work out more in the morning. That's not going to really be of any use. You need to make sure and give your diet probably more importance, than working out. And that's a very big mistake that people make. They start their fitness journey and they think, अब तो ठीक है, अब तो body बन जाएगी, now we lose weight, we can afford a few more calories. That's not how it works. So I've actually written a point saying diet is everything, and my next point is supplements are not everything, because and this is probably more for the 18 to 26-year-old guys who are drawn into supplements. I know it may not be as relatable to all of y'all, and I'm happy to discuss supplements for women as well, and I'm going to do that. But there's a lot of people who believe that buying the big boxes, spending all that money and taking all those supplements means their body is going to magically change. That's not going to happen. Supplements are important, they are good. If they are used smartly, they can actually help you. But there's a lot more to be done apart from just taking supplements. The next thing, I'm coming to your point, is the importance of form and technique. Because while you see someone else do an exercise, doing it correctly yourself is a whole new ballgame. So please ensure that you are using the correct form and technique. This is a little bit specific towards weightlifting and strength training. Because the number of injuries that we see, and I don't want this to scare you in a way to not get into it, but yeah, people do get injured, and that's where the use of a personal trainer, at least for the first 3 months, is something that you can consider. Again, finding the right one is a very, very important thing, because and I don't again want to condescend or demean fitness trainers in general, but in India, how it works is those who go for those wrestling competitions and the bodybuilding, once they end up becoming fitness trainers, very few of them would have an education, very few of them would have an understanding of the human body, human anatomy. So try and find someone, even if it's a little costly, I think that's a worthy investment, but try and find someone who at least puts you on the right track for 3 months and gets you into proper form and technique, because that's when you start seeing the results, that's when you start enjoying the process and getting addicted to weightlifting. And one injury setback due to poor form or technique will make you not want to lift weights again, which is just spoiling the reputation of weight training for a very, very small thing. And the last thing is to listen to your body, because at the end of the day, I think your body is going to give you, the perfect response when you give it the workout stimulus. There will be times when it tells you it's too sore to work out. There will be times it will tell you that you're in pain and you should take a step back. Additionally, taking one rest day a week is absolutely recommended. If you just want to do some light stretching on that day or something, it's okay. But just 1 day a week to allow your body to recover, because when you lift weights, you actually have a lot of wear and tear of your muscle fibers, and those muscle fibers then regenerate and they then regrow to become stronger muscles. So giving yourself that 1 day rest is very, very important. Similarly, again, and this is a little specific to those who are a lot into weight training, but let's say you do your arms workout on Monday, you don't do your arms workout again on Tuesday, because you give your arms that time to recover for those muscle fibers, the wear and tear that has taken place to actually, regenerate again, and then you do it after 3 days maybe. So similarly, taking a rest day, whether it is for body parts or one whole rest day completely, is extremely important. I think in terms of motivation, you guys seem extremely motivated, but for those of you who need more motivation, you can check me out on Instagram. I think I do a lot of stuff where I try to motivate people, to work out, especially the younger age group. I've had an excellent response. At least there are girls from all over the country who never thought that they would actually go to a gym. They never thought that they would actually lift weights, and I've actually been tracking some of their progress, and they probably deadlift just as much as I do now. So if you ever need motivation, you can always. Everyone is welcome. No comments. But you need to understand the concept of calorie deficit. Very honestly, it just means that you need to burn more calories than you consume. So the Indian diet, especially the vegetarian diet, is heavy on carbs. So you may feel that you're having a balanced diet, because हमारे Indian terms में जो balanced nutritious meal होता है, और सालों से हम लोग they have been telling us what a balanced meal is. Is chapati, is rice, is roti, is vegetable, is curd, is papad, is pickle. Chalo, even if you remove the papad and pickle, you think that's a balanced meal, but it's really not, because it has way more carbs than you should be consuming. So the idea is, and without going into specifics of nutrition, is to ensure that you're first meeting your protein goals, because that is the most important thing. You need to first make sure that you are consuming the right amount of protein that you need to be consuming, and then look at your carbs and fats and fill up the plate. So you may want to probably remove the vegetable and increase the dal intake to double. That would be a wiser option than taking 1 bowl of dal and 1 bowl of vegetable. But all this while you'll be eating 1 bowl of dal, 1 bowl of vegetable, and thinking, hey, that's a balanced meal. So think about that. So let's say you get a maintenance calorie level of 2000 calories a day. What this means is that if you consume lesser than 2000 calories in a day, you are in a calorie deficit, and over time you will lose weight. If you consume more than 2000 calories a day, you are in a calorie surplus, and you will gain weight. That is as simple as that. So the first thing you need to do is, when you all go home, YouTube how to calculate maintenance calories. There'll be a formula, there'll be a 5-minute video. Take a pen and a paper, write down the details as they are talking. Use a calculator, use your phone and get your answer. All of you will get one answer. It takes 5 minutes to do. Then for 7 days, just for 7 days, track your meals. 7 days is not too much. Now when I say track your meals, what I am talking about is you'll have to get a weighing scale, a food weighing scale from Amazon or somewhere. And then actually weigh the uncooked food. When you weigh that uncooked food, you will then put that input on Google saying 60 gram rice equals, 60 gram uncooked rice equals how many calories. You will get an answer. You will put that on a separate chart that I have consumed 145 calories of rice. Same thing you will do for everything you consume from morning to evening, and you will write that total. At the end of the day, it will come to, let's say, 1850 or 2125. Whatever is the total number, it will come to that. Write that down. For 7 days, get your 7 numbers. 1850, 1950, 2250. Sometimes Sunday you've gone out, Shilpa Shetty said go crazy, you're going crazy. 2700, you've gone crazy because Shilpa Shetty said so. Okay, and you write that down and then get the average of 7 days and you will understand whether you are less than 2000 or you are more than 2000. If you are less than 2000, you are on the right track towards losing weight. If you are more than 2000, you need to understand that मुझे 200-300 calories और कम करने पड़ेंगे to come under 2000. Now what is a healthy weight loss is to be around 250 to 300 calories lesser than your maintenance is a healthy weight loss. So planning your meals is very important because you could be taking all the effort in the world to be on your 1800 calorie number. Let's say 2000 was your maintenance और आपने decide किया कि मुझे 1800 calories ही consume करने हैं so that I have a 200 calorie deficit. और आप पूरा दिन बहुत healthy खा रहे हो लेकिन in the night you are going out and you eat 200-300 calories more than you're supposed to, you go back to 2100, you lost your entire effort of the day. If you have worked hard for 7 days to make sure, so let's go back to our example, 2000 calories was your maintenance, you were supposed to eat 1800 every day to be in a 200 calorie deficit every day. So Monday to Saturday you've done it so sincerely, मतलब आपने 1200 calories save किया है, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. 200 into 6, you've saved 1200 calories, you have been in that deficit. On Sunday, you've gone crazy and eaten 3000 calories, which means you've gone on 1000 surplus, which means 1200 minus 1000 is just 200. That means your 7-day quota is just 200 calories deficit, which was 1 day's work, and you wipe that off with one Sunday. Supplements is a $1 billion industry and it's only growing. Supplements again are things if used well, if used smartly, they can actually help you a lot. If they are unnecessarily used, you're probably wasting a lot of your money. So, and I'm going to have this conversation keeping my target audience in mind because obviously the choice of supplements, a lot of things depend on that, like your age, your physical activity, what your goals are. But how many of you here consume whey protein, for example? Whey protein or plant protein? 3, 4, 5 of you, that's it. Okay. Any reason why the others don't, if I may ask? What have I heard about whey protein?
Because मेरे तो प्रोटीन ज़्यादा है बॉडी में.
Okay.
टेस्ट कराया तो ज़्यादा.
Okay. ठीक है, आपका situation is of course you've taken about the
having a
branch.
vegetarian khana with dals and kala chana and these things keeping protein in mind, I don't think you need an alternative thing that is a supplement which is
Okay.
something which is not organic, and why should you do it?
Okay.
That's what I feel.
Have you ever tried to calculate your protein intake for the day?
No,
You
not
have?
exactly. Not exactly how you have said a weighing scale
Of
and all
course.
that, not like that.
Okay.
Not the Raju Lekar, but yes, otherwise you have, your protein is higher than what you are supposed to.
But we try getting protein in every meal.
In everything. So the thing with most vegetarian meals especially is that your proteins will be also heavy on carbs like your dals, or they will be heavy on fats like your paneers. That is where the issue comes in more for vegetarians. Also, if you're eating egg, that's definitely an added bonus. But if you're not even eating egg, I feel most of you will be struggling to meet your protein goals. Now, what is the ideal protein intake? There are again various calculations. The one I feel is very basic to use is 1 to 1.2 grams per kg of your body weight. So if you are weighing 60, you definitely need 60 grams of protein. You may need up to 70 to 75 grams of protein, and then if you work out, if you exercise more, that number keeps increasing. When you talk about chana, when you talk about dals, when you talk about everything else, you may be going up to, I feel, 35-40 grams of protein, but very, very difficult to hit even 60 grams on complete vegetarian. Even for vegetarians like myself, I'm an vegetarian, I don't eat meat. I'm able to go up to, let's say, 65-70 grams, but beyond that I'm not able to go, and my requirement is 105-110 based on my physical activity and my weight. So I feel the entire stigma around supplements, like ma'am just said over here, that why take something that is not organic, or why take something which you shouldn't otherwise be taking, is purely because it has now been proven that it is A, absolutely safe, B, helping you actually meet your protein goals, and C, it is easier on the belly. It's frankly easier for you to consume a protein powder in liquid shape, in liquid form, than possibly be able to consume that much of dal or those many eggs. For example, one scoop of whey protein is 25 grams of protein, which is 4.5 whole eggs. So it's easier for me to take a glass of protein than eat 4.5 eggs. That doesn't mean that you substitute it from your natural sources. That's never my intention, that's never my point. Please continue eating what you are eating, but you'll be surprised to know that most of you will be deficient with your protein goals. So I would really request all of you to be a lot more educated about protein supplements. So I feel if you consume fruits and vegetables, I really don't think anyone needs multivitamins before menopause for sure. Definitely, I am of the belief that you don't need it. हाँ, अगर आप keto कर रहे हो, any particular type of diet that is restricting you from eating fruits and vegetables, that's a completely different thing. That is when you are put on those 5-6 pills and all by a nutritionist. That's completely different. After menopause, one multivitamin, and I'm coming to calcium and vitamin D3, is what I would recommend after menopause. But before menopause, if you are eating fruits and vegetables, I don't think you need it. If you have extra money and you want to make some company happy, it's your wish. So calcium and vitamin D3, definitely, I think everyone after menopause, at least all of you all who are so well educated, aware, getting the best of medical health, I'm assuming you are on calcium and vitamin D3 because of estrogen and its role in helping your bone mineral density, and the lack of it because of obviously menopause. So you will be on calcium and vitamin D3. I don't think I need to tell you all about that. You have a once a week dose, which very honestly it's a 2-month course, once a week for 8 weeks. If you just do it once a year, yeah. So calcium, my opinion is very fair. Before the age of 45, there's no question about it.
And after that,
Definitely.
every day.
Every day.
What is the role of glucosamine as I'm taking this?
Hello? Yeah. So glucosamine is basically known to help with lubrication in your joints. It is known, and my next supplement was collagen, is basically to maintain your cartilage health in your joints and help improve the lubrication, because as we age, the joint lubrication decreases, the amount of synovial fluid in our joint decreases, our cartilage health goes down. So you can consider taking glucosamine, you can consider taking collagen. There's a lot of people who eventually end up getting joint pains, and we have to put them on collagen anyway. So yes, as a supplement in general, you can consider taking glucosamine and collagen for sure.
What about collagen? Collagen, if you are taking every day, as I'm taking at night, so is it okay?
Absolutely okay. Absolutely okay. So collagen is again something you can consider taking. I believe Chandni here is working with liquid collagen. Modern is your brand. Yes. So for those of you who are interested in liquid collagen, you can check out Modern. You can have a word with Chandni after this chat. Basically, आपका जो bone का mineral density होता है, over time that starts going down. After the age of 30, the decline has started already. Now the idea is to decrease the rate of that decline. वो decline तो होने ही वाला है. We cannot stop it. That's aging. How do you decrease that? Is by having foods which are rich in vitamin D3, foods which are rich in calcium, ensuring your vitamin D3 and calcium supplementation, as well as, and the most important is exercising. Because exercising will help build your bone mineral density and decrease that rate of decline. अगर आपको otherwise 50 पे bone mineral density कम आने वाला था, it will probably get increased to 55, get increased to 60. You will not face these bone and joint problems till a much later age. Now, how do osteoporosis pains present to us in the clinic? Are these very miscellaneous dorsal back, talking in medical language, mid-back pains, which are very common. So if you have an unexplained mid-back pain, not low, not your neck, it is a very high indication of decreased bone mineral density. You probably need to go to the ortho, you need to get checked, you need to get your blood levels checked. And then we have various forms of treatments that are available for patients who get different values based on their BMD DEXA scan. This BMD DEXA scan is the same scan जो आपको body composition के बारे में बताएगा. So remember that. So in case your bone mineral density comes low, there are various medications that are given right in the form of nasal sprays, to oral medications, to IV injections once in 6 months, to injections which are taken like insulin every day. Similarly, an everyday injection in your thigh has to be given if your bone mineral density is beyond a particular amount. Because if your bone mineral density is low, that means you are increasing the risk of fractures. It means कि आप अभी normal, suppose you are sitting on a chair and suddenly the chair just goes down and you just hit your bum on the ground, something which is so basic, carpet पे bum लगा है, you will actually have a vertebral fracture. Or a simple fall here and there and you will have a hip fracture. So this is why it's very important, because your bones are now become fragile, they have become weak. And that is where exercise plays a huge role in increasing your bone mineral density. And the reason I'm going to end this talk by saying all this is because we are going to go back and do a full callback as to why exercise is important. So osteoporosis, you've understood what you need to do? Exercise. वही तो करना है. तो आपके जो vertebral bones होते हैं, उनके बीच में disc रहता है. You know the slip disc, we keep hearing disc. This is the intervertebral disc. Now when that bulges out, like she said, she has a L4, L5, L5, S1. These are names of the vertebrae. उनका जो disc बाहर आता है touches the spinal nerves which supply your lower body, and when it touches it, you get that running pain down your buttock and down the back of your thigh to the back of your calf, and then they call it sciatica. So the point is to avoid this, or to avoid it presenting as pain. Of course, in her case, she said she had an injury. So an injury is an acute way of getting a disc problem, but there are chronic degenerative ways in which you can get a disc problem. And the only way to avoid them is by doing stretching exercises, back extension exercises, doing back workouts in the gym, being of a normal body, normal or ideal or as ideal as possible body weight, to ensure that these problems don't happen to you in the first place. Neck pain caused due to excessive forward bending, which is obviously excessive laptop use, excessive phone use. In US, they have now coined it text neck, because there is so much stiffness of the muscles of your cervical spine that it is actually affecting, it's causing so much pain that are finding it difficult to literally turn like this very confidently. It then spreads onto your trapezius muscles, and we see patients when we just touch them over here and just apply a little pressure and they wince in pain as if we have pinched them so badly. Yeah. You know my presentation, I think. That's literally my next point. I'm coming to that as well. So, of course, very easy for me to say, my screen time is also embarrassing, so very easy for me to say don't spend time on your screens, do something else. But I make sure I lift weights 5 times a week, and I think you all are not making sure of that. So please do back workouts, please exercise. अभी आपको अगर pain हो गया है तो physiotherapist will give you all those exercises for your neck and all of that. That all is okay. But if you really work out and ensure your muscles are conditioned, they can take the load and you won't be in the pain in the first place. What I recommend for anyone, whether they are working individuals, and y'all can, I'm sure many of you here would be working as well. I'm sure you'll have members in your family, whether it's your spouse, your kids, anyone who is working, you can also tell them this, that every 1 hour that you work, you have to take out 2 minutes. Keep an alarm on your phone. 2 minutes you have to take out, in which you will do multiple things. One is, if you are assuming most people would work in a desk and chair format, whether they are working from home or whether they are working in office, You have to get up and take a walk. When I say walk, literally आपके रूम में दो ले लो, आपके ऑफिस में ले लो, go to the water place or anything. Now when you get up, you are ensuring that your spine becomes erect, so your back is not stiff. You are ensuring that obviously from looking down, you're not going to walk like this. Obviously, when you walk, you're going to do this. You're extending your cervical spine, so your neck muscles are okay. You have obviously left your laptop in which your hands were like this, or your phone in which your hands are like this, and you are now walking like this, so your hands are also extending. And you are also giving your eyes rest because you are looking at a screen, so your eyes are getting rest. That's the fourth point. And the fifth, and I like to include this in, is have a glass of water, because you need to meet your water goals also of, let's say, 2 to 3.5 liters per day, depending on what you're doing. So this becomes a good habit. 5 things to keep in mind. For 2 minutes, every 1 hour, it's that simple. Get up, walk about, extend your fingers, extend your neck, drink a glass of water. While I was waiting outside, I saw at least 3 of you walk with a gait like this, which is obviously mean that there are patients of knee arthritis here. Whether it is early OA, moderate OA or severe OA is a completely separate thing. But again, in Indian women, it is not something that you can avoid very frankly. You must be noticing that women get this a lot more than men. That is just how it is. There is even studies that have been done that in Gujaratis and Marwadi women it is seen more. So there are actual published literature by Indian doctors who have found it more in Gujarati and Marwadi women. So it is something that is a degenerative condition. For those of you who don't know what osteoarthritis means, it means that your thigh bone and your shin bone form the knee joint, and the gap between that reduces due to age, due to natural wear and tear. And eventually when the two bones touch each other, it causes extreme pain known as severe knee osteoarthritis. And when that gap keeps reducing, there are various stages of osteoarthritis for which there are various forms of treatments, again from physiotherapy to injections to eventually your knee replacement surgery and everything else that comes with it. That's an entirely different talk. But again, to prevent early knee osteoarthritis, to delay the onset of knee osteoarthritis, the only thing that is recommended is maintaining an ideal body weight and exercising. Okay. And my entire talk right from the start has only been about exercising. I could have taken a 5-second talk saying, guys, exercise and leave, but I hope it's made some sort of impact with this. So, I think that brings me to the end of my talk, and I'm about to sign off. The end, I always say this, it's actually a foregone conclusion for all living beings. So I'm going to leave you all with one thought. It's how you choose to live the life that you've been gifted that matters. It's how you choose to treat the body that you've been blessed with that matters. It's how you choose to ease your soul that has been through countless cycles of beginnings and endings that matter. So step out of your comfort zone and do the things that matter.
I would like to know
The foremost being self-care.
Self-love, right?
So if you are truly able to adapt to a healthier lifestyle, you are really going to be a warrior fighting for what's truly yours and fighting for the loved ones who depend on your well-being. Thank you.
एक्सरसाइज 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 की सही इम्पोर्टेंस समझा दी डॉक्टर मनन ने, और उसके बाद हुआ एक जबरदस्त Q&A राउंड जिसमें डॉक्टर मनन ने हमारे मेंबर्स के सभी क्वेश्चंस के जवाब बड़ी पेशेंस के साथ दिए, और फिर फोटो सेशन के साथ हुआ हमारे इस माइंड बॉगलिंग सेशन का दी एंड। तो कैसा लगा आपको हमारा ये सेशन? आई होप आपको बहुत सारी जानकारी मिली होगी, है ना? तो बस इन बातों का फायदा उठाएं जो आपको एक हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल जीने के लिए इंस्पायर करती है, राइट? एंड यस, अ बिग थैंक यू टू द मेंबर्स ऑफ स्पाइसी शुगर्स हु आर माय मॉरल सपोर्ट, माय स्ट्रेंथ। और आप भी तो हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है, तो बस यूं ही हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। हम आपके लिए लाते रहेंगे कुछ नया, डिफरेंट, इंटरेस्टिंग, बार बार, हर बार। बाय बाय। मिलते हैं ब्रेक के बाद एक और बहुत ही जबरदस्त टॉपिक के साथ। तब तक हंसते रहें, मुस्कुराते रहें, गुनगुनाते रहें और प्लीज मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें अगर अभी तक नहीं किया है। लाइक, कमेंट एंड शेयर एंड डू टेक वेरी गुड केयर। लव यू ऑल।